is enough being done to find the truth about unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs, otherwise sort of kind of what we've all called UFOs for years. Now, there is one congressman who says enough isn't being done. The Republican from Missouri, Eric Burlison, is leading a charge. He is asking for Congress to do something about it, saying, quote, "We believe that establishing a new select subcommittee would provide a significant opportunity for Congress to provide answers that are long overdue." Joining us now is the congressman from Missouri, Congressman Burlison. Thanks for being with us here on the Hill. What do you want here?
Great to be here.
Is this a new committee? And how receptive is the House Speaker Mike Johnson to this?
Yeah, we've reached out to Mike Johnson. I think that this is the next step, is to send a formal letter. Look, I'm lucky to have other colleagues that are part of the UAP caucus, that we're all taking this matter very seriously. We took the whistleblower, David Rush, and his allegations very seriously. I think we took the testimony of pilots who have had these near-miss encounters and have seen these objects. We've taken their concerns very seriously, and I think that we owe it to the American people to shed light on the expenditures that are, all the money that's being used to investigate these matters. This needs to be done in a transparent way, and we're trying to do this in a very thoughtful way, which is why I think that we need the resources. We need to have a select committee so that we can have the staff in place who are dedicated to this cause.
Is the Speaker on your side?
I don't know yet. I have a feeling I'll look forward to hearing from him, but okay. I know that we've got Chairman Comer on our side. We've got Tim Burchett and other members of the UAP caucus, and
Democrats
so hopefully
and
we'll get a response from the Speaker.
Yep.
Yes.
Here was the report, Congressman.
Representative Moskowitz.
Yep, exactly. Here was the report from the Pentagon last week, basically pushing back on David Grush's testimony and the idea that there's a secret crash retrieval program. Quote, Arrow, which is the government agency overseeing this, assesses that all of the named and described alleged hidden UAP reverse engineering programs provided by interviewees either do not exist, are misidentified authentic national security programs that are not related to extraterrestrial technology exploitation, or resolve to a de-established program. Do you trust, Congressman, the Pentagon on this when that is their finding, or do you think there is more there to look into?
I don't, because they weren't transparent to us in a SCIF setting, so they could have brought forward evidence. They could have explained what these special access programs actually do, but they are not willing to do that with Congress. So to me, it's time that they open the kimono, that they show us exactly what's happening, because they should, if they're doing something that's good for the American people, if they're being responsible with taxpayer dollars, they should have nothing to hide.
Okay, all right, we'll leave it there. And Congressman, thanks for joining us. Come back when if you get this committee formed, and let us know what exactly you're tracking down. Congressman Eric Burlison from Missouri, thank you, sir.
Anytime.
Yep. We're not done with this story. It ain't going away, no matter what the Pentagon says. I think this is just the beginning.
Yeah, I think anytime Congress is trying to reassert Article 1 authority as an Article 1 supremacist, I think it's a good thing.
Mr. Article 1.
That's right. So, more oversight in the Pentagon.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.